How does the Daily Mail's treatment of Harry and Meghan reflect on the media's role in shaping public opinion? It's a question that's worth pondering. Media, in its many forms, has a powerful influence over how we perceive the world and the people in it. It tells stories, spins narratives, and in some cases it can amplify or distort the truth. When we look at the Daily Mail's treatment of Harry and Meghan, we see a narrative that's been carefully crafted, one that's often skewed towards sensationalism. Headlines are twisted, numbers are cherry-picked, and a narrative is pushed that seems more interested in undermining than understanding. It's a playbook that's all too familiar, yet it continues to shape public opinion. But as we peel back the layers of these headlines, we have to ask ourselves, can we trust what we read, or is there more to the story? The Daily Mail claims Netflix is backing away from the Sussexes, but is there truth in these allegations? Let's dive into the heart of the matter. The tabloid's narrative seems to suggest that Netflix is distancing itself from Harry and Meghan, and their ventures are not performing well. But what does the reality look like? Let's explore. Netflix, the global streaming giant, has repeatedly expressed its admiration for the Sussexes, describing them as global cultural forces. This is not a term Netflix throws around lightly. It's a clear acknowledgement of the impact and influence Harry and Meghan have in the contemporary cultural landscape. Next, let's examine the success of their projects. The couple's ventures have proven to be a hit with the audience, drawing in impressive viewership numbers. When their documentary, Harry and Meghan, was released, it quickly became Netflix's most successful documentary debut of all time. That's not an underperformance. That's setting a new standard. The Daily Mail also scoffs at the first-look deal the Sussexes have with Netflix. But in the entertainment industry, a first-look deal is a vote of confidence. It suggests that Netflix believes in the Sussexes' ability to create compelling content that resonates with viewers. This is not a sign of failure, it's a sign of trust and belief in their potential. The tabloid also takes a jab at the couple's decision to produce a Christmas cooking special and another documentary. But isn't this just an expansion of their brand? While the Daily Mail is busy churning out stale gossip, the Sussexes are broadening their horizons and exploring new avenues. In conclusion, the claims made by the Daily Mail seem to be more about creating sensational headlines than accurately reporting on the Sussexes' relationship with Netflix. When examined closely, there is a stark contrast between the tabloid's narrative and the reality of the situation. It seems the Daily Mail's claims may not hold up under scrutiny. What does a first-look deal really signify in the entertainment industry? Let's dive into this. A first-look deal is a golden ticket in the world of entertainment. It's an agreement between a network or studio and a content creator, like our very own Harry and Meghan, where the network gets the first opportunity to consider a proposal for production and distribution. When a network like Netflix hands out a first-look deal, it's a clear vote of confidence. It signifies that they believe in the content creator's ability to produce compelling, engaging, and most importantly, successful content. They're essentially saying, "We trust your vision, and we're willing to invest our resources in making it a reality." This is not a random gesture. Netflix, being the giant it is in the entertainment industry, doesn't throw around first-look deals like confetti at a parade. They're selective, strategic, and they play to win. So when they back someone with a first-look deal, it's because they see potential. They see a spark that could ignite into a firestorm of viewer engagement and, yes, profit. Now, the Daily Mail has painted this first-look deal as a step down, a sign that Netflix is backing away from the Sussexes. But let's look at this from a different angle. The Daily Mail's interpretation seems to be missing the mark, as it often does. It appears to be a case of sour grapes, a distorted view of reality that serves their narrative rather than the truth. Expanding the brand with a Christmas cooking special and another documentary, that's not a step down. That's smart business. It's diversification. It's growth. It's a sign of a brand that's not just surviving, but thriving. So when we consider all of this, it's clear. Harry and Meghan's first-look deal may be a sign of their expanding brand, not a step down. And that, my friends, is the power of a first-look deal. It's a testament to success, a beacon of confidence, and a clear sign that Harry and Meghan are here to stay. What's the strategy behind the Daily Mail's headlines about Harry and Meghan, you may wonder? Well, let's dive into it. It's a pattern we've seen time and time again. Every time the Sussexes make a move, The Mail seems to be right there, ready to downplay their success. They've turned it into a sort of art form, really. A new project announcement, it's time to churn out a headline that suggests it's a step down. A record-breaking debut. Let's conveniently ignore the numbers and focus on an unnamed insider who claims it's a flop. But why, you might ask? Well, it's all part of a well-oiled machine, a strategy that's less about reporting the truth and more about keeping their readers hooked. After all, the more sensational the headline, the more clicks it gets, and the more revenue it generates. And let's face it, Harry and Meghan's latest venture flops is a lot more clickable than Harry and Meghan continue to succeed despite challenges. But there's a twist. While they're busy spinning tales of failure, they're also inadvertently highlighting the Sussexes' relevance. Every headline, every story, every unnamed source is, in reality, a testament to the power and influence that Harry and Meghan wield. The Daily Mail might not admit it, but they need the Sussexes. They need them to be the story that sells. And that's where the irony lies. In their bid to undermine Harry and Meghan, they're actually amplifying their success. They're showing the world that the Sussexes are not just surviving, but thriving in the face of adversity. And that, my friends, is the real story. So, what's the takeaway here? The next time you stumble upon a Daily Mail headline about Harry and Meghan, take it with a pinch of salt. Remember, it's not about the truth, it's about the clicks. The Daily Mail's treatment of Harry and Meghan may be more about generating clicks than reporting the truth. What's the real story behind the Daily Mail's treatment of Harry and Meghan? Well, the truth is much more compelling than the tabloid spin. Despite the relentless barrage of negative press, Harry and Meghan continue to thrive. They're not just surviving, they're flourishing, pushing boundaries and expanding their brand in ways the tabloids could only dream of. The Sussexes have become global cultural forces in their own right, creating content that resonates with millions around the world. They're not just making headlines, they're making history. Their documentary, Harry and Meghan, had the largest debut ever on Netflix. That's not the sign of a downfall, it's the sign of an ascent. The Daily Mail's headlines, filled with twisted narratives and cherry-picked numbers, are not signs of the Sussexes' failure, but rather their success. Every story, every headline, every clickbait article is proof that Harry and Meghan are still the story that sells. And that's what really gets under the skin of the tabloids. They've been feeding off the Sussexes for years, manufacturing outrage and spinning tales. But the irony is, every headline they print only serves to highlight the relevance and impact of Harry and Meghan. They've become the golden goose the tabloids can't afford to lose. So while the Daily Mail continues to peddle its doom and gloom narrative, Harry and Meghan continue to rise above it all. They're not just surviving the storm, they're thriving in it. They're not being blown off course, they're charting a new path. They've become a beacon of resilience, showing the world that you can face adversity and not just survive, but thrive. And in doing so, they're redefining what it means to be a global cultural force. Perhaps the true story is not about Harry and Meghan's downfall, but their resilience and continued success. What does this tell us about the media's role in shaping public opinion? As we've seen throughout this discussion, media outlets like the Daily Mail use sensational headlines and skewed narratives to influence how we perceive figures like Harry and Meghan. They strategically downplay successes, insert dubious insider sources, and paint every move as a step down, all to sustain their own business model. This isn't just about Harry and Meghan, though. It's about how media can manipulate public opinion, feeding readers a steady diet of manufactured outrage. We've seen how the Sussexes have not only survived, but thrived under constant attack, debunking the narrative that they're irrelevant. And perhaps, most tellingly, every headline about them is proof that they're still the story that sells. This is the media paradox. The very figures they try to undermine are the ones keeping them afloat. Next time you see a headline about Harry and Meghan, remember to question the narrative and seek the truth.